I'm not trying to conquer the universe. I'm perfecting it.
Into the Galaxy Volume 3. What can I say? I've been waiting a while to talk about it. Wait no longer. Here it is. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the final adventure for this team up of our favorite, quirky, plucky group of Marvel heroes. Now, the main story beats in this, we have Quill is miserable because he lost Gamora. They've set up shop on nowhere. His misery thusly affects the rest of the team, making them miserable as well. And to the point in the credits where you see him being carried in the trailer. And of course, that's just a fake out. Nothing's wrong with him. He's just blacked out drunk. We get introduced to Adam Warlock by the Sovereign, who are his creators. They're a creation of the High Evolutionary. He tasks Warlock with retrieving Rocket Raccoon. Now, Rocket Raccoon, of course, he's injured by Warlock in the battle they have at the beginning of the movie with a blast to the chest, which triggers his internal mechanism, which is a kill switch, which is put in place by the High Evolutionary during his experimentation and creation on Rocket, which we'll talk about a little bit more. This is a Rocket Raccoon movie wrapped up in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie because it mostly centers on Rocket, his backstory, his creation, his relationship with the High Evolutionary, downfall of that relationship when Rocket solves a problem that the in genetic coding that the High Evolutionary couldn't even solve. So this infuriates the High Evolutionary because he's a bit of a megalomaniac and an egocentric narcissist. We also get the backstory. Rocket is extremely dark. It shares the meeting with Lila, who ends up being his love interest, Teefs and Floor, who all die at the end of the film, so don't get too attached to him. And of course, Rocket survives and stays on the team at the end of the movie, which, spoiler alert. I want to talk about Gamora a little bit because I thought Zoe Saldana played the role fairly well in this for being a variant Gamora. You know, she was good. She played kind of an asshole towards Quill, which helps him eventually move on, but not without a little more sentiment from her because he's trying and making these pleas to her about the relationship they used to have or he had with the other Gamora. And she said, that wasn't me. And there's a scene where they're walking away from each other. He's a bit despondent and she says, I bet we were fun. And that, shows that she's, albeit not as receptive as he would like her to be, she does realize that he's hurting because of the loss of his Gamora, as it were. And that's not to show ownership over her in any way by Quill, but in the other end of the spectrum, she was his love. That's why he refers to her as his Gamora. Let's talk about Adam Warlock, who was front and center during the Infinity Saga and the comic run, but nowhere to be seen in the MCU until now. Played by Will Poulter. This could have been a good role for him as he got in phenomenal shape for this, but then again, it's Marvel, it's Phase Boar, and what do? They ruin the character. They make him a bumbling idiot. Not even a fish out of water story, but a complete bumbling just idiot. And that just falls in line with Disney and all the respect that they don't have for the characters from the comics that people actually love. And they push these characters like Kamala Khan and America Chavez to the front and center when nobody cares about them. Literally, the smallest percentage of the audience wants to see them. And it's not worth bringing them to the screen because there's no return on investment. Whereas a character like Adam Warlock, who, as I said, comic readers know, and I own the Infinity Saga, and he's right there, and he's front and center on the cover of it. And you don't get that here. You never get that impression from this portrayal of him in live action. So don't beat me up over the opinion, folks. It's just the facts based on what I saw in the movie. As far as the Guardian team goes moving forward, we know we're going to get a new team, and I'll talk about that here momentarily. But first, this team, Drax is gone, Mantis is going to be gone, Nebula's gone, Gamora's obviously gone. And the new team we meet in the mid-credit scene, Rocket Raccoon is the leader. We have Phyla Vel, Kraglin, Groot, Cosmo, and Adam Warlock. That's your new Guardians team, and they get introduced charging into battle, of course, to the Come and Get Your Love, which we'll talk about the soundtrack here next. I want to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy music as a whole, based on all three movies. Now, I've got the vinyl for the first one, which I bought for my wife for Mother's Day. I mean, you've got Hooked on a Feeling, Go All the Way, Spirit in the Sky, Moon Age Dream, Fooled Around and Fell in Love, I Want You Back, I'm Not in Love, Come and Get Your Love, Cherry Bomb, Escape, of course, the Pina Colada song, Ooh Child, and Ain't No Mountain High Enough. That is an amazing variety of music. You got Volume 2. I bought the deluxe edition of this. This is, 2 records, 4 sides. Mr. Blue Sky, Fox on the Run, Lakeshore Drive, The Chain, Bring It Home to Me, Southern Nights, My Sweet Lord, Brandy, Come a Little Closer, Wham Bam Shang-a-Lang, Surrender, Father and Son, Flashlight. I mean, this is, you've got just an awesome collection of music on this one as well. And I've got the deluxe edition right here, which is basically, a few of the pieces of the score plus, your regular soundtrack songs. I mean, these were well worth the money I spent on them. I love the look of each of them. It changes. And yeah, I got these 3 for her. And I've got the third soundtrack is on the way. But let's talk about the music on that one next. The official soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 starts out with Creep, an acoustic version by Radiohead, Crazy on You by Heart, Since You've Been Gone by Rainbow, In the Meantime by Space Hog, my personal favorite, Reasons, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Do You Realize, The Flaming Lips, We Care a Lot, Faith No More, Koinu no Carnival, Ihamik, San Francisco, The Mowglis, Poor Girl, X, This Is the Day, The, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, The Beastie Boys, Dog Days Are Over, Florence and the Machine, Badlands, Bruce Springsteen, I Will Dare, The Replacements, Come and Get Your Love by Redbone, which was obviously used for sentimental reasons and nostalgia. This soundtrack just kind of fell flat for me. A few good highlights were Beastie Boys, Space Hog, Redbone, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Faith No More. The rest of it, you could take or leave as far as I was concerned. As far as send-off movies go, this is James Gunn's swan song in the MCU. I think it kind of missed the mark as far as the other 2 movies went. But then again, Guardians 1 was so good back in 2014. The second entry in 2017 was a very, very drastic step down in quality, but still overall an enjoyable film. Nowhere near as good as the first one. Where does this one fit in? This one falls firmly flat in the 3rd position overall. It's not anywhere close to the first one in quality or even the second one. This is just kind of as far as I'm concerned, just a send-off. Nothing more, nothing less. That Gunn was like, here you go. Now, I know you can say that, oh, well, he put all his emotion and everything into this because this was his pet project. Yeah, it was, but this movie's too little too late. It should have come out years ago. I know what you're saying, the pandemic, this and that. Excuses. They still managed to make Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals all during that time period, plus put out shows. And the elephant in the room at this point is the MCU's first F-bomb.
Open the fucking door! Open the fucking door!
There wasn't anyone else who could have delivered that line except for Chris Pratt's Star-Lord or Peter Quill. He was the perfect character. The delivery was there. Did it need to be there? No, it absolutely didn't, but that's James Gunn kind of putting his stamp on it because they severely limited what he could do as far as pushing the envelope and going towards more of that adult audience like he did over on DC with the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, which The first Guardians of the Galaxy film was absolutely a blast. The second one was a bit of a letdown. The third one, while it had its moments, still kind of just fell flat at times, but still enjoyable at points, so I don't want to completely come off like I'm just dumping on the film when there was definitely moments that I did enjoy. Now is the point where I score the movie, and I know what you're thinking, Etep, you missed the story. Well, there wasn't really much story. They have to save Rocket. They have a insert inside Rocket. They need a code to shut off. They have to go get the MacGuffin from the planet that's organic, and they fight the people, and they're dressed in their funny colored space suits, and you hear Beastie Boys and la la la. Rocket's the one to defeat the High Evolutionary in the end, and there it is. Overall, this movie falls into the range, I would say, of a C-. It's not anywhere near as good as the first one. It's still behind the second one in quality. The bar was set very high in this. This movie was too little too late. You're talking 6 years in between the second and third movies in the trilogy, and you can spare me the pandemic excuses. That's no excuse for lazy writing, and if this is James Gunn's passion project, he loved his Guardians of the Galaxy franchise because it was his, then I expected a little bit more. But then again, it's Disney and their version of Marvel at the end of the day. So I will give this one a solid 6.8 out of 10. It was a fun movie. Yes, absolutely. It had its points where you would laugh and you will enjoy it, and it will make you feel some type of way during certain scenes with Rocket and Teefs and Floor and Lila, especially when those three get killed off. The High Evolutionary is a villain for the sake of being a villain, which I have to give them credit for, because Marvel does not do that. They try to make all their villains redeemable, especially when they're female, but this one is a man, so there you have it. It was enjoyable. Would I go see it again? No. Will I probably buy it on Blu-ray? More than likely, because I have the other two, so I'll add it to my collection. This isn't a movie that's going to make you be like, I want to go to the theater multiple times, unless you're one of those MCU stans, though. That's it, folks. That's the end. What did you think? Did you see the movie? Are you going to see it? Are you going to wait till it streams? Do you even stream Disney movies anymore? If not, hey, that's cool. I get it for free, and if you're streaming them, I hope you do too, because there's no sense in giving the mouse any unnecessary money. Like I said, if that's your thing. If not, cool. Hey, thanks for watching this long. If you still are, make sure you slap that like button. Do all the YouTube things. Subscribe. We're almost to 1,500. A mere 13 away at the time of this video. Join us tonight for Saturday night's main event. And yeah, that's it. I'm Etep, and from the Place to Be Reviews, I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Open the fucking door!
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
I could do this all day.
This doesn't bode well.
You're lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.